Okay, let's take a look at the teams that have qualified for the quarterfinals of the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Papua New Guinea. You have USA, of course, Brazil also made it through. And, of course, you have Korea, DPR, Japan, and, of course, another team that was in Nigeria's group. We're talking about Spain. All of them making it round to the next round. But when you look at Ghana, just couldn't qualify. You know, they finished at the bottom of the group because they had just 2 points and lost the last game. But Nigeria, of course, after 6 points, couldn't make it round. You can just see the fixtures because the fixtures is going to start. They start playing on Thursday, and of course, you have some other games on Friday for these teams that will be playing. But the big one everyone is looking forward to is the game between Japan and Brazil. The Thursday's quarterfinals fixture. Korea, DPR, and Spain will also be in action. Remember, they beat Japan by lone goal in Nigeria's group. But can Spain actually beat Korea, DPR? That's a big question. Japan, Brazil also meeting, and USA and Mexico. That's on that game to look forward to, more like a derby, for them. Germany and France, or European derby too. We'll see what's going to happen in that one also. But there you have the quarterfinals, Thursday and Friday. That's when it's going to start. Of course, we're in the semifinals, but Nigeria here. It's painful. 2014. They'll arrive tomorrow.
Disappointing exit. Very disappointing, Cecilia.
Painful. I'm still pained by it.
It is. I mean, when you get 6 points, usually that's enough to take into the next round in any competition, but it wasn't meant to be for the Falcons.
It wasn't meant to be.
Because they lost scandalously against Japan.
Yeah, go there early, acclimatize, and get a good result, and you're good. Okay, now, what's the take something coming from the sport minister concerning the National Sports Festival? Everyone has been talking about it. Is it going to happen this year? But from all indication, no. We'll just listen to him, and when we come back, Toby Emmanuel will join us, talk about that, and also look at the papers and some of the sports stories. Stay with us.
By their submission that we were going to hold the festival this year. But obviously, from their body language and letter communications, they have some challenges, which from their explanation, they will still need some intervention from the federal government. And of course, the position of the federal government as to funds now is very clear. It's not too easy. So they have made their submission to the president. He has the final authority to determine the assistance or the intervention. That explains why we could not hold the festival as scheduled. We thought of holding the National Council of Sports to determine the fate of the festival. That Calabar still was not ready to host the council. The National Youth Games suffered the same fate. But I put my feet on the ground this year and insisted that with or without budgetary allocation we will proceed, because we cannot deny our children the right to express themselves. And I went out of my way from a budgetary allocation of only 9 million from the budget. I went ahead and we held successfully the National Youth Games with support and funding from the private sector. So if Calabar will ultimately fail us, then certainly we'll hold the National Council of Sports, and they will determine what will happen next. And the same spirit with which we drove the National Youth Games will also be brought to bear on the National Sports Festival. I think Nigerians should try to understand the direction with which I am trying to drive sports. I'm trying to shape up the lot from government and invite the private sector to come and drive the process, because sports world over is private sector driven. We are going to redirect our energies to grassroots sports development, where we'll create the enabling environment and then drive the policy of a very robust sports development. So this is the status of the National Festival. It's indeed unfortunate, but it is one of the realities we will live with.
Okay, Toby Emmanuel joins us now on the program. He is the assistant sport editor, New Telegraph. Good morning.
Good morning. Always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, good to have you here. Yeah, you listen to this. Okay.
Yeah,
I have the shirts.
Yeah, it's not really a shock like that. I mean, just you know, going on from what the minister said, the National Sports Festival is supposed to be hosted by Cross River. The last we heard about it was supposed to be hosted after the Olympics. This is November now. Olympics ended in August. It's not looking very likely now. I mean, you wonder what's going on with this particular event. It's been postponed 5 times already.
Yeah. It's so unfortunate that the aim of the National Sport Festival is to discover athletes and also prepare the team for the Olympic, every Olympic year. We used to have it about 2 times before the Olympics, so that the last spectacular sports festival we had was Lagos, Eco 2012.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. We saw a lot of athletes, and most of the athletes are the athletes who are dominating now. After then, we've not seen any other sports festival. When we had Ogun, Abeokuta, it was wonderful. When we had Imo was great. Yeah. When we had Kada Games, it was great. So we're expecting that we should have Cross River, but they've been postponement upon postponement. At a stage, the sport minister, when he came in on board, he said they're taking the national festival to Abuja, so that they take, since Cross River State government have not shown their responsibility of taking this and hosting this competition, and they demanded for a lot of money. So the sport minister is in his wisdom. So instead of putting so much millions to give to them, why not just bring it to Abuja? We'll host
you know that the government is hosting.
Yeah, the government, Abuja will host it. But it's still ridiculous that as of now, we don't even have a clear picture of when the sport festival is going to hold. And it's so sad. It's good that the minister is talking about it, but it's not about talking, it's about